The story is about a very, very, very handsome young man. Yes, his beauty attracted the attention of the people of Aden Governorate in the 90s, specifically in 1996. This young man's name was Ali Muhammad Ali, and he had one sister who was 1 year younger than him, and she was also beautiful. But because of Ali's extreme beauty, anyone who saw him and his sister could not tell them apart. Many people, when they saw Ali when he was 15 or 16 years old, wearing young men's clothes, thought he was a girl wearing men's clothes. They would say that this could not be a young man, with his kohl-rimmed eyes, wool, long eyebrows, soft skin, and white color. They were surprised by Ali's extreme beauty. His father was a very simple man and worked for wages, meaning daily, sometimes as a porter and sometimes as a fruit picker on the farms. Their family suffered from a lack of money, and this caused Ali psychological problems. He saw the looks of young men and women, all looks of surprise and admiration. The men thought that Ali was either a girl or an abnormal boy, and the girls loved him. Not every straight girl likes him, but everyone who sees him is surprised and tries to get close to him, and everyone tries to talk about him to her friends and relatives, who come the next day to see him. Ali was forced to leave school to work and help his father. Whenever he went to any shop to work, the shop owner discovered that Ali attracted customers. Every time Ali worked in a shop, customers started flocking to the shop, men and women. Ali was annoyed. He did not want people to look at him as a beautiful, soft young man who did not have a manhood, but he wanted people to respect him and for girls to admire him as a man, not because he was handsome as a girl. So whenever the shop was crowded with customers, he would submit his resignation and look for another job. From shop to shop, the same story would repeat itself. Sometimes the shop owner's daughter would admire him, and other times the neighbors would. In the end, he found a job in a large supermarket that needed a manager to be responsible for accounts and inventory. Ali worked in this supermarket and was happy because he did not receive customers, and he was always hidden inside the supermarket. What motivated him to continue this work is that the employer trusted him and left him everything. The supermarket was making a large income, and every day Ali would steal an amount of money to spend on his home, his mother, father, and sister, without the employer feeling any shortage in money. When the amount he stole increased, the employer did not feel any shortage. Ali continued to steal larger amounts, until one day he stole a large amount. Then the store owner noticed the loss of money and began to check and monitor until he was sure that Ali was the thief. The store owner confronted Ali, but Ali denied it. The store owner told him that he would not report him to the police and would not cause problems, but he fired him from work and asked him not to see him again. The store owner told his friends and the owners of neighboring stores that Ali was not trustworthy, and Ali became hated. Whenever Ali applied for a new job, they would ask him about his previous place of work, and when he mentioned the name of the supermarket, they would call the supermarket owner, who would warn them about him. Ali could no longer find work, so he decided to continue stealing. He began to steal satellite dishes, cables, and plumbing tools and sell them. He found someone to buy the stolen goods from, and he started making a lot of money. Ali became a professional at stealing, and he continued doing so. He used to tell his parents that he worked in an import and export company that had no specific headquarters, and they believed him. Ali continued stealing for years, until one day he decided he grew in the level of thefts, meaning when he was stealing simple things and was punished for something that was not worth much, he started thinking that he should strike big strikes instead of working every day. He decided to strike once a month. He thought about robbing a bank, but he realized that banks are difficult because of the security, cameras, and people. So the idea of gold shops came to his mind. He thought about the subject and started to wander around the gold shops to know the situation there. He discovered that most of the shop owners take the jewelry and gold with them home at the end of the day to protect it. That is, the shop owner is with his brothers and sons. They take the gold and go home and secure it there, and every morning they display the jewelry and gold in the shop. He knew that the security situation is not good, and that the external shops are different from the shops inside the malls, as the external shops are always afraid, especially at that time. He knew that the shop owner closes the shop and takes the gold with him home. So he decided to focus on a specific victim. He started to search and search until he found an old man who runs a gold shop. He waited for him until the end of work and saw that he had no children to stand with him, but rather hired people to accompany him home. He knew that he did not have relatives or adults in the house, so he gathered information about the shop owner and discovered that he lived in one of the buildings with his wife and young children. He knew that the man takes a large bag in which he fills gold and jewelry and hides it in the house and goes out with it every morning. He decided that on the specified day he would wait until the world gets dark and enter the man's house. He began to watch the man's apartment from the opposite street in a cafe, sitting there and watching the street movement and who visits the man. He became a customer in the cafe to gather information. The worker in the cafe recognized him and began to give him money as a tip to endear him to him. One day, a man named Hajj Abu Muhammad entered the cafe and sat down and greeted everyone present, including Ali. After Hajj Abu Muhammad left, the worker approached Ali and told him that Hajj had sold land worth 30 million riyals and that he had no children or relatives, but only lived with his wife. Ali went crazy when he heard the story and decided to forget about the gold shop owner. He started asking the worker about where Hajj Abu Muhammad lived and learned that he lived near the cafe. He gathered information and decided that Hajj Abu Muhammad was the most suitable victim because he had 30 million riyals in cash and no one came to visit him. One day, Hajj Abu Muhammad came out of a vegetable shop and Ali was following him to make sure where he lived. Hajj Abu Muhammad arrived at his house and Ali was watching the situation from outside. Ali gathered all the information and decided that this was the right target, as he had 30 million riyals in cash, and no one was protecting him, like the owner of the gold shop, who hired people for protection. He learned that Hajj Abu Muhammad was a man committed to prayer, especially the dawn prayer, and he would leave about half an hour before the prayer. He said this was the best time, as people were sleeping and the Hajj was walking to the mosque, which was a short distance away. He decided to carry out the crime at this specific time, and he sat near Hajj Abu Muhammad's house until the dawn call to prayer. When he saw Hajj Abu Muhammad leaving the house, he moved away a little and then ran towards the apartment. The old woman was performing ablution, and when she heard a knock on the door, she said, "Abu Muhammad must have forgotten the stick, because Abu Muhammad always takes a stick with him when he goes to the mosque to avoid dogs in the streets." She opened the door without confirming, and Ali entered and pushed her hard, causing her to fall to the ground. He pulled her into the bedroom and quickly said, "Tell me where you have hidden the 30 million Yemeni riyals." She said to him, "For God's sake, don't kill me. I am like your mother. Take the money, but don't hurt me." Ali was veiled and wearing a woman's abaya, so anyone who saw his eyes would think she was a very beautiful woman. Ali was happy because she didn't recognize him and thought he was a woman, so she showed him where the money was. He stole the money and ran away. Abu Muhammad returned from the dawn prayer and was surprised by what happened to his wife. He informed the security men, and the next day the news spread that the thief was a woman with beautiful eyes, and people started talking about the incident. The security men also passed on the news, and the news reached Ali, who was happy because no one suspected him. After taking the money and spending it on his family, he decided to return to his original plan and rob the owner of the gold shop. In the same way, he entered the house while they were sleeping, climbed up and knew how to get in and out. He attacked the man and his shoulders, then tied his wife up and stole the bag containing the shop's merchandise and fled wearing women's clothes and a mask. The next day, when the man was able to untie himself, he called the security men and gave them the specifications. He said that she was a woman with certain specifications and beautiful eyes, so they concluded that she was the same woman who robbed Hajj Abu Muhammad. The issue became terrifying for people, especially shop owners who became afraid of being robbed in their homes. Terror spread in Aden Governorate, and everyone was talking about the thief's audacity and beauty. At the same time, Ali felt upset and annoyed because people thought the thief was a woman, especially when they talked in the cafe in front of him about her beauty. He felt oppressed and angry because he was complex about this beauty issue, and he became obsessive and oppressed because people likened him to a woman and thought he had unmanly tendencies. Ali thought about how to prove his manhood after everyone thought he was a woman. He decided to commit several crimes and reveal that he was a man. So he planned to rape several women wearing the same clothes he used in the previous crimes to confirm to everyone that he was not a woman. He started looking for a suitable victim to spread the news and make it the talk of the town. At this time, Ali began spending money and selling gold pieces carefully, as he was keen to sell ordinary things and not special pieces that had names on them. His family was shocked by the sudden changes as he bought a new car and started wearing luxurious clothes, and he justified all of this by saying that his company was achieving great success. One day, his sister asked to go to the hospital because she was tired. Ali insisted that she receive treatment from a private doctor, and he took her to a Russian doctor residing in Yemen. Ali noticed that the doctor was famous and treated well-known figures, so he saw that she would be an ideal victim for his next crime. He began to monitor the clinic and the doctor, and learned that she was married, but her husband worked in a remote location, and she lived with a Yemeni maid in a villa. On a specific day, Ali entered the villa at night wearing the same clothes, and was able to reach the maid's room and raped her after she resisted strongly. The maid knew that the attacker was not a woman, and started screaming and crying. He asked her about the doctor, and she told him that she was at a party and would be back late. Ali waited until the doctor returned, then attacked her, raped her, and stole 5,000 rials from her, only to confirm that his goal was also theft. After the crime, the doctor contacted the embassy and informed the authorities. They learned that the same attacker who robbed Hajj Abu Muhammad and the owner of the gold shop had committed this crime, but they were now certain that he was a man because of the details of the rape. The case became the talk of the town, and fear and terror spread throughout the province. Ali was trying to escape suspicion and spend the stolen money and gold with extreme caution. but he decided to sell a large gold necklace that he feared would be identified. He thought about going to another governorate to sell the necklace in a new shop, where the seller would not have any prior information about the stolen gold. He went to a new shop in the market, run by a person named Nader, and began displaying the gold as an old heirloom that had been cut up to be sold as scrap. Nader welcomed him and agreed to buy the gold by weight, after confirming Ali's identity. When Nader returned to the shop and began the process of remanufacturing the gold, he discovered a piece in the middle of the necklace with a distinctive engraving. Nader remembered a story he heard from his sister's husband, the owner of the gold shop that was robbed in Aden, about a distinctive necklace with a special engraving. Necklace, as he talked about its high value not only because of the gold, but also because of the engraving and heritage it carried. Nader decided not to melt the necklace immediately and called his brother-in-law to ask him about the details. He said to him, "Abu Fulan, remember the necklace you described to me a while ago, the necklace that they stole from you and had a large stone with a distinctive engraving?" His brother-in-law answered enthusiastically, "Yes, this necklace is very valuable, and I loved it very much." Nader replied, "I think I found the necklace. Someone came to me today to sell cut gold, and I found the same stone that you described to me." His brother-in-law was shocked and stressed the need to investigate the matter quickly. Nader called the police and told them what he had discovered, and provided all the information he had about Ali. The authorities began to track Ali based on this information. At this time, Ali had begun to feel concerned about Nader's actions, as he noticed that he did not melt the gold immediately and was talking to him strangely. Ali decided to leave the area quickly and return to Aden, but the police had already begun to move to track him down. Over the following days, the police began to intensify their efforts to arrest Ali. The evidence they collected from Nader was enough to link him to the previous crimes. As the investigations continued, Ali was arrested at his home, thanks to the police tracking his movements and contacts. After Ali's arrest, he was brought to trial on charges of theft and rape. The evidence against him included Nader's testimony, physical evidence of stolen gold, and the testimonies of the victims. In the end, Ali was convicted and sentenced to a long prison term, thus ending his series of crimes that terrified the residents of Aden and neighboring governorates. The story of Ali, whose crimes ended with his capture and suicide in prison, embodies many human and psychological aspects, starting from the criminal behavior that led him to commit theft and rape, all the way to the tragic end of his life. This story carries many lessons and morals, perhaps the most prominent of which are 1. Psychological complex and its impact on behavior. The story shows how Ali's beauty complex and people's view of him greatly affected his actions and pushed him towards criminal behavior. Rumors about his beauty and the fact that he resembled women increased his sense of persecution and non-acceptance, which prompted him to commit horrific crimes to prove his manhood. 2. Criminal progression. Ali did not start out as a professional criminal, but his actions gradually escalated, from theft to sexual assault. This highlights how psychological complexes and social pressures can push a person towards escalating his criminal behavior. 3. Fate and justice. Although Ali tried to disguise himself and wear women's clothing to camouflage himself, fate was watching him. The distinctive piece in the necklace was the decisive factor that revealed his identity, which illustrates that justice can be achieved in unexpected ways. 4. Asterisk, asterisk. Psychological effects of imprisonment. Asterisk, asterisk. Ali could not bear life in prison and was exposed to harassment and psychological pressures, which eventually led him to commit suicide. This highlights the importance of considering the psychological conditions of prisoners and taking care of their mental health. 5. Asterisk, asterisk. Family support and its impact. Asterisk, asterisk. Although Ali's family relied heavily on him, they were not aware of his true nature and what he was doing. This highlights the importance of open communication and psychological support within the family. Ultimately, Ali's story reminds us of the importance of addressing psychological and social problems early, and the need for an effective justice system that can deal with offenders in a way that enhances their rehabilitation rather than pushing them towards tragic ends.